Welcome to your full body stretch routine for flexibility. Start sitting with your legs straight in front of you, and we're going to do pike stretch. To do this, reach up and then reach as far forward as you can, making sure to keep your legs completely straight so that you feel a deep stretch in your hamstrings. If you can't go all the way forward yet, that's totally normal, just do the modification. This routine is great for all flexibility levels, just do the beginner modifications whenever you need to. Next, we are going to repeat that same stretch except with one leg bent. Repeat that stretch bending the opposite leg. Straighten both legs, placing them out into as wide of a straddle as you can do. Once you're in your straddle, reach one arm towards its opposite leg. This is great for stretching out your hips and also the side of your torso. You can now reach to the opposite side. Staying in the straddle position, rotate your hips to face one leg. Then reach as far forward as you can. You should feel this one a bit more in your hamstring than the last stretch since we're reaching forward instead of to the side. Rotate your hips back to the middle and then reach to the center of your straddle. For our final stretch in this straddle, reach over the other leg. You can now get out of your straddle and next go into as deep of a lunge as you can do. To get the most out of this stretch, try to push your back leg as close to the ground as you can. The next stretch is a backwards lunge, so bend your back leg while straightening the front one and reach over top of the front leg until you feel a stretch. While doing this, I recommend flexing your front foot and pulling up on it to get even more of a stretch. The next stretch is one of my favorites, the splits. Don't worry, you don't have to do a full split, just go as low as you currently can, and the more often that you do this routine, you should get closer to your splits. It can also help to lift your hands off the ground so that you can sink as low into your split as possible. It's so important to stretch both sides, so we're going to repeat the last few stretches on the other leg, starting with the lunge. You can now go into the backwards lunge with your front leg straight and the back leg bent. It's now time for the splits on this side. You are going to feel so good after completing this routine, so don't give up now, you got this. You can now get out of your split and then step up into a plank position to push up into a downward dog. Once you're in the downward dog position, try to push your heels towards the ground and your shoulders back towards your legs. Next, lay on your stomach using your arms to lift up your chest to feel a stretch in your back. In this position, we're going to do some neck circles. switch the direction you're circling your neck. If you're already feeling a good stretch in your back, stay where you are, but if not, you can try to arch back even further. Get out of the back stretch and then go into a child's pose. For our next back stretch, go back to laying on your stomach. Once you're laying down, try to reach back to grab anywhere between your ankle and knee. If you feel a stretch, keep your legs bent, but if not, try to straighten them. Next stretch, go up onto your hands and knees, and we're going to do backwards kicks. This is a great dynamic stretch for leg and back flexibility. Now it's time for kicks on the other side. Staying on your hands and knees, reach one arm up and then underneath your torso. Now reach the opposite arm through. Next, we're doing one of my favorite shoulder stretches, which is just sitting down and pushing your arms back behind you as far as you can. When you do this, your hands should be pointing away from the rest of your body. For our next few 2 stretches, you will need to lay on your back. The first one is a back bend, so push up into a full back bend if you can, or if you're not ready for that yet, just do the modified version to start. I'll be showing the modification soon, or if you want to learn a back bend, I have a tutorial on it linked in the description. You can always come back and try the back bend the next time you do this routine. You can get out of your back bend and go back down to laying on your back. Once you're on your back, cross one ankle over top of your leg and pull your legs towards your chest until you feel a stretch in your hips. Repeat the hip stretch on the other side. We are not going to push up into the back bend one more time, but this time you can rock back and forth if you want a deeper stretch. To finish off, we are doing one final stretch that is great for improving leg flexibility. You've already made it this far, so no point in stopping now, you got this. This stretch is a laying leg lift, so staying laying on your back, lift your leg as high as you can and pull it towards your chest until you feel a stretch. Try to keep your leg as straight as possible to get the most out of this stretch. It's now time to lift the other leg, and this is our last stretch, so great job. This is a great full body stretch routine to do daily, so I recommend coming back and doing this every day or at least 3 to 5 times a week for best results. I really hope you enjoyed the routine, and I'll see you back tomorrow.